Hello everyone, this is Joel with SB Reviews. So today we'll be talking about if the LEVOIT LVAC Cordless Vacuum Cleaner is actually worth it. I'm going to be covering all the different features for you guys and also the attachments and testing out the suction. Okay, so here we have the box. Let's go ahead and take everything out. All right, so first we have the instruction manual. Next we got some attachments here. Let's see, this one has some bristles on the front. And then we have this piece right here. We have a connecting piece. Then here we have the main attachment. You can see the bristles right here. It's sort of like these rubber pieces. They're not really bristles, they're more like a rubber feel to them. Then we have the wall mount hardware. Then we have another attachment here and then the connecting tube. And then we have the main part of the vacuum cleaner right here. And this thing is pretty lightweight. And then lastly, we have the charging adapter. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this together. So all you'd have to do is just plug this in. That'll lock in. Then you wanna take this next piece right here. That'll lock in as well. And then here we have the full vacuum assembled minus the attachments. Then we can put on this last attachment, and then bam. Now we have the entire vacuum assembled. This thing is pretty light and it's also very flexible as well. So here we have the vacuum. Let's go ahead and do some tests on it. All right, so we got some oatmeal down there on the carpet. Let's go ahead and test this out to see how well it does. And this is on the regular mode. This has a eco and turbo mode as well we're gonna test. So it did a pretty good job of getting that up. It didn't struggle whatsoever with any of that. So with that being said, let's go and try this on the turbo mode. You can see here we have the on button and then the turbo mode right here. And once again, this thing did a really good job of getting that up. I also want to show you guys how it's able to get under tight spaces as well. You can see that it has that LED on the front, so you can see exactly what you're vacuuming. I really like the LED because you can really see where you're vacuuming and how you might be missing some spots. And if there's something super deep in that corner, just turn on the turbo mode. So this is pretty cool. One thing that I do like about certain vacuums is when they're able to stretch all the way to the bottom without having the top part lifting up. So you can see this can lie completely flat, 180 degrees, and get under these spaces. Now there are some little remnants of the oatmeal down here, just stuff that might be stuck up onto the wall, but it got up 99% of it, which is pretty great. And on top of that too, we can just use the attachments that they give us to get up the rest of that under there. So I also want to show you guys the overall pattern that it leaves on your carpet once you're done. And by doing this, this will also show us how relatively deep it'll get into the carpet. And you can see how flexible this thing is. So it can easily move back and forth like this, almost at a 90-degree angle. Don't judge me on the pattern because I can't directly keep this straight 100% of the time. But as you can see, it's pretty good in terms of just like everyday use and just being convenient. It's not like a regular conventional vacuum cleaner that will that'll really just dig deep into your carpet. This is for just getting something up very quickly. You can easily just get under here. The LED really helps. And then under my futon, look how low this thing can go. I can get any bugs that may be trapped under here. And if you guys notice, the LED is quite bright, especially for there's much darker areas. I also wanted to see how well this can perform against flour that may be stuck in your carpet, because you know how this stuff can get pretty deep in there. So let's try this out. Might have to turn on the turbo mode. No, it's still getting it up. It's doing pretty good. And you can use the turbo mode to get the rest of it. So you can actually use this on barewood floor, carpet, tile, marble, and even vinyl. So with that being said, let's go ahead and try this out on a barewood floor. Got some flour and oatmeal here. Let's see how this thing performs. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this thing has rubber bristles on it, so it's not going to scratch up your floor, which is a really good plus. So as you can see, it did a really good job of getting that up. I would say right off the bat that this thing is probably better at getting stuff up off the carpet than it is hardwood floor. One thing that I do like about this, and this is something that I always pay attention to with these types of vacuum cleaners, is if there is stuff that's going to fall back out when I vacuum it up. So as you can see here, I'm shaking it, and nothing came out. Maybe there's like a tiny little speck there that may have been on the bristles there, but nothing is falling back out of the tube. I also wanted to do a quick POV of me using it, so let's go ahead and try this out. That way you can get an aerial view. And this is an area rug, so you can also use that on these surfaces pretty easily. And there we go. So now we're going to use the attachments. I'm going to show you guys how to put that on there, and then we're going to vacuum all this stuff up. So to take it off, all I have to do, press this, that comes off really easily. And then we can put on the next attachment. That'll lock in there, and what's cool about this is that you can actually take this front piece off here, and I'll just leave this here, but we're going to leave the bristles on there. Okay, so this attachment isn't really for this job. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it to the other one. Yeah, this one is a lot better. Okay, this attachment is a lot better than this one, mainly because of how the suction is. So obviously because this is smaller, the suction power is a lot more than this wider one. So this is more for a larger surface area, maybe like the flat carpet right here, or maybe like your chair. So that one is definitely a lot better than this one. So I would really only use this attachment if you're trying to really dig deep into your carpet and get something up that may be stuck in there. So I also got some tile here in my bathroom, so let's go ahead and try this out. And bam, it did a pretty good job. One thing that I've noticed about this too is that the suction is powerful enough to get into the crevices of the tile, so that's a really good thing to note. So upstairs I have a little bit deeper carpet. You can see here how my hand is able to sink into it a little bit. So let's try this vacuum cleaner out and see how well it does on this. Once again, it did a phenomenal job. And if you're doing this on a deeper carpet or a taller carpet, I would definitely recommend using the turbo mode, so that way you can get up as much dirt as possible. Now, removing the trash bin is really easy too. Just turn this to the side, press this button, it comes out really easily. And you can see here we have this filter at the top. You want to make sure that this is all clean, and then we can start dumping this out. And then to dump this out, we just open this lid at the bottom. Then you make sure this locks. Then we can put it back. Goes in like this. Basically just want to put this in part there. Now let's say you're done and you want to charge this thing. So the battery is actually removable on the back there. So you see that button, you just press down on it and that releases. And all you simply have to do is plug this up and you can hook it up, and I'll actually tell you on the side here how much of the battery is filled. So overall, this thing is pretty phenomenal. It's super convenient, especially if you're the type of person that wants to get something up really quickly and don't want to have to go through the hassle of using like a conventional vacuum cleaner where you have to use the cord, you have to lift it up all the stairs. This thing is extremely light. So this probably is under 10 pounds, maybe 6 or 7 pounds or so, and anyone can use this. The wheels also have these rubber pieces on them to really help them grip on the floor or any surface that you're on. So really, if you have an apartment or house, you can store this in your kitchen or closet, the corner of your room, it really doesn't matter. This is a pretty good all-around vacuum cleaner.